My fiancé posted on Instagram, "Last night of freedom before I'm tied down forever," with videos of her bachelorette party. I commented, "Looks fun." Then I checked the geotags. She wasn't where she said she'd be. When I showed up at the actual location and found her with her ex, 32 male, work in IT security. Not the glamorous kind you see in movies, mostly just making sure companies don't get hacked because someone clicked a phishing email. But it does mean I notice things. Digital footprints, metadata, the little details most people don't think about. My fiancé and I had been together for 3 years, engaged for 8 months, wedding planned for 6 weeks from now. I'd already put down deposits on everything: venue, photographer, catering. About $18,000 total, most of it non-refundable at this point. Her bachelorette party was supposed to be a chill weekend at her college friend's lake house about 4 hours north of where we live. Just 6 girls, some wine, maybe a boat day. She showed me the Airbnb listing before she left. Looked nice, peaceful. Friday night, she posted on Instagram. Group photo of all 6 of them in matching pink shirts that said "Bride Vibes." Caption, "Last night of freedom before I'm tied down forever." I commented, "Looks fun, miss you already." She hearted it. All good. But here's the thing about Instagram posts. If you click on them and look at the location tag, sometimes there's more information than people realize. And if the poster has their location services on, which most people do because they never think to turn them off, the metadata tells a story. I wasn't even suspicious. I was just bored, scrolling through my phone at 11 p.m. on a Friday, and I happened to tap on the location. Force of habit from work. The geotag said she was downtown, not at a lake house 4 hours north. Downtown, here, in our city. I figured it was a glitch. Maybe the photo was taken earlier and posted later, but the lighting in the photo was clearly nighttime. And the background, I zoomed in. That wasn't a lake house living room. That was a bar. A specific bar I recognized because my buddy had his birthday there last year. My stomach started doing that thing where you know something's wrong but your brain is trying to convince you it's fine. I texted her, "How's the lake house?" 3 dots appeared. Then, "So relaxing, just chilling by the fire with the girls. Miss you?" She wasn't at a lake house. She was at a bar downtown, and she just lied to me about it. I grabbed my keys. The drive took 12 minutes. I parked across the street and sat there for maybe 5 minutes, trying to talk myself out of going in. Maybe there was an explanation. Maybe they changed plans last minute and she forgot to tell me. Maybe I was being paranoid. Then I saw them through the window, my fiancée, her maid of honor, and her ex-boyfriend. The one she told me she hadn't spoken to in years. The one she swore was completely out of her life when I found his texts on her phone 8 months ago, and she promised it was nothing. They were in a booth together. Just the 3 of them. Her maid of honor was on one side. My fiancé and her ex were on the other. Close, too close. His arm was around her shoulders. I watched for maybe 10 minutes, watched her lean into him, watched him whisper something in her ear that made her laugh, watched the maid of honor get up and leave them alone, looking straight at them like this was totally normal. Then I watched my fiancé kiss him. Not a peck, not an accident. A real kiss. The kind you give someone you've been kissing for a while. I took photos. My hands were shaking so bad the first few were blurry, but I got clear ones eventually. Time-stamped. Their faces visible. No room for "that's not what it looks like." Then I drove home. I didn't confront her that night. I needed to think. Needed to be strategic instead of emotional. In my line of work, you learn that reacting in the moment usually makes things worse. Saturday morning, she texted me a photo of her holding a coffee mug on what looked like a dock. Lake life. The metadata on that photo? Tagged from her maid of honor's apartment, which is downtown, 10 minutes from that bar. She was building a whole fake weekend using staged photos. How long had she been doing this? How many work trips and girls' nights were actually this? I spent Saturday making phone calls. First to the venue, explained the wedding might be canceled, asked about the refund policy. Anything inside 30 days was non-refundable, but since we were at 6 weeks, I could get about 60% back if I canceled by Monday. Called the photographer, same deal. Partial refund possible if I acted fast. Called my parents. That conversation was brutal. My mom cried. My dad went quiet, then said, "What do you need from us?" I told him I'd figure it out, but might need help with the deposits I couldn't recover. He said they had my back. Then I called my lawyer buddy. Not for legal advice exactly. We weren't married, so there wasn't much legal to untangle. But I wanted to know if there was anything I needed to protect. He told me to make sure any joint purchases were documented, get my name off any shared accounts, and screenshot everything in case she tried to claim I was the bad guy later. I spent Saturday afternoon doing exactly that. Removed her as an authorized user on my credit card, changed the passwords on streaming services we shared, went through our apartment and quietly packed up anything that was definitively mine into boxes I hid in my car trunk. The engagement ring? I looked up the receipt. $8,400. I'd be returning that on Monday. She came home from the lake house Sunday evening, walked in glowing, carrying her overnight bag, talking about what a perfect, relaxing weekend it was. "Tell me about it," I said. "Any highlights?" "Just quality time with my girls." "Oh, we rented a boat Saturday and my maid of honor fell in. It was hilarious." "Take any pictures of that?" "My phone was in the cabin. Didn't want it to get wet." "That's too bad. Sounds memorable." She kissed me on the cheek and went to take a shower. While she was in there, I pulled up the photos from Friday night on my laptop, set them as a slideshow on the TV. Then I sat on the couch and waited. She came out in her robe, towel in her hair, and stopped dead when she saw the screen. The first photo, her and her ex in the booth, his arm around her. What is this?" "Keep watching." Second photo, him whispering in her ear. Third photo, the kiss. That's not. Not what? Not you? Not him? Not the bar downtown that you were at on Friday while you told me you were at a lake house 4 hours away? She started crying. Immediately. Full waterworks. "It's not what it looks like. He just showed up. I didn't plan this. Your maid of honor left you alone with him. She was in on it. And that photo you sent me of the dock this morning? That was taken at her apartment." I checked the metadata. "The what?" "I work in IT security. I notice things." The crying intensified. She fell to her knees. Actually fell to her knees like this was a movie, and grabbed my hands. "Please, baby, please. I made a mistake. It was just one kiss. It didn't mean anything. The wedding is in 6 weeks. Was it just one kiss? Or has this been going on the whole time you told me you hadn't spoken to him in years?" Silence. That's what I thought. I stood up. "I'm staying at my buddy's place tonight. I want you out of the apartment by Wednesday. Your name isn't on the lease. I'll put your stuff in boxes if you don't get it yourself. You can't just kick me out. We've been together 3 years. I have rights. You have the right to find somewhere else to live. That's about it." I grabbed my pre-packed bags from the car and left. Update 1. So it's been 4 days. Wednesday has come and gone. Buckle up because this has gotten wild. First, she didn't move out. I gave her until Wednesday. She didn't leave. When I came back to check on Thursday morning, she was sitting on the couch with her mom, who I've always gotten along with pretty well. Or so I thought. "We need to talk about this like adults," her mom said. "There's nothing to talk about. She cheated. The wedding is off. She needs to leave." Her mom did this long sigh like I was being unreasonable. "All couples go through rough patches. My husband and I. With respect, I don't care about your marriage. Your daughter kissed another man, her ex, while lying to me about where she was. There's no coming back from that. One kiss. It was one kiss. People make mistakes." I pulled up my phone. Actually, funny you should mention that. I did some digging. See, after I left Sunday night, I couldn't sleep. So I went through everything. Old phone records, we were on a family plan together. Credit card statements where I could see them. Location history from Find My Friends that we'd set up for safety 2 years ago, and apparently she forgot existed. The pattern was not great. Over the past 6 months, her location had pinged at her maid of honor's apartment at least a dozen times when she told me she was somewhere else. Her ex's apartment building? 4 times. And there were credit card charges at restaurants and hotels I'd never heard of on dates when she was supposedly at work events. I showed her mom the spreadsheet I'd made. Yes, I made a spreadsheet. I'm an IT guy. It's what we do. Her mom's face went through several emotions. Shock, denial, then something that looked almost like resignation, like she'd seen this before. "She needs to leave by tomorrow," I said, or I'm calling the cops and having her removed. That's when my fiancé lost it. You're ruining my life. Do you know how embarrassing this is? The invitations are already sent. People bought plane tickets. Should have thought about that before you started sleeping with your ex. I wasn't sleeping with him. The hotel charges say otherwise. She threw a lamp at me, actually threw it, missed by about a foot, and shattered against the wall. Her mom didn't even react, which told me everything I needed to know about how often she'd seen this behavior. That's destruction of property, I said calmly. I'm documenting everything. Her mom finally stepped in. Sweetie, we should go. We can figure this out from my house. I'm not leaving, he can't make me. But I could, and I did. The next day, Friday, I got a formal letter from a lawyer. Not a real legal threat. There was nothing to threaten me with, but one of those, my client is concerned about her belongings letters designed to intimidate people who don't know better. I knew better. I texted her, your stuff is in boxes in the living room. Pick it up by Saturday at noon, or it goes on the curb. She sent back, I'm talking to a lawyer about my rights to the apartment. I sent back, your name isn't on the lease. You have no rights to the apartment. This is your last warning. Her maid of honor showed up Saturday morning with a U-Haul. Didn't say a word to me, just loaded boxes while giving me death glares. I stood in the kitchen drinking coffee and watching. Before she left, my ex-fiancé turned to me one last time. You're going to regret this. Everyone's going to know what kind of person you are. Everyone already knows what kind of person you are. I sent the photos to every guest on our wedding list with the cancellation notice. Her face went white. You what? Seemed fair. They deserved to know why they weren't getting a free dinner anymore. The scream she let out was almost inhuman. The maid of honor literally had to drag her to the U-Haul. Best Saturday morning I've had in years. Update 2. Final update, because honestly, I'm exhausted and ready to close this chapter of my life. So after I sent those cancellation emails with the photos attached, things escalated in ways I expected and ways I didn't. Expected. Her family went nuclear. Her mom called me vindictive and cruel. Her dad left a voicemail calling me a piece of work and threatening to make things difficult for me. Her brother, who I'd actually liked, texted me saying, didn't have to humiliate her publicly. My response to all of them, she humiliated me privately for 6 months. I just told the truth. Unexpected, the ex-boyfriend reached out to me, sent me a DM on Instagram that said, and I quote, hey man, I just want you to know I didn't know you guys were still together. She told me you'd broken up 3 months ago. I'm sorry. At first, I thought it was BS. But then he sent me screenshots of texts between them, going back to March. In those texts, she told him I was moving out and we were finalizing the breakup. She spun a whole story about how I was emotionally distant and never appreciated her, and she'd wasted 3 years on someone who didn't love her. The ex thought he was reconnecting with an old flame who was newly single. He had no idea she was still engaged, still living with me, still planning a wedding. He wasn't a villain. He was another victim. I thanked him for reaching out, told him I appreciated him setting the record straight. We're not buddies or anything, but I don't blame him anymore. The person I do blame? The maid of honor. Because those screenshots the ex sent me, they showed that the maid of honor was coaching my ex-fiancé the whole time, helping her craft messages, suggesting what to say to keep both relationships going. Even helping coordinate the lake house cover story so they could have their secret weekend downtown. The maid of honor wasn't just aware of the affair, she was the logistics coordinator. I forwarded those screenshots to her boyfriend. Yeah, she had a boyfriend. A really nice guy I'd met a few times at couples dinners. Seemed genuinely decent. And he had no idea his girlfriend was spending her weekends helping her best friend cheat. He called me an hour after I sent them. Just said, thank you for telling me. I had no idea. I heard through mutual friends that they broke up the same week. Apparently the maid of honor tried to spin it as me manipulating the situation and taking revenge on innocent people, but her boyfriend wasn't buying it. He'd seen the texts, he knew what she'd been doing. Now here's where it gets interesting. Remember those wedding deposits I was worried about? The venue, the photographer, all that? Well, I'd been trying to get refunds where I could, but it wasn't looking great. I was about to eat maybe $7,000 in losses. Then I got a call from the venue coordinator. "Sir, I wanted to let you know. The bride's mother contacted us to transfer the booking to a new date. She's claiming the wedding is still happening and you're the one who, how did she put it, had a breakdown and falsely accused her daughter." "I'm sorry, what?" "She's trying to take over the booking. She wants to pay the remaining balance and proceed with the wedding on a different date, for her daughter, with a different groom, presumably." I almost laughed. "Can she do that?" "No, sir. The contract is in your name. We just wanted to give you a heads up that she's been persistent." "I appreciate that. And for the record, the wedding is definitely canceled. I'll take whatever refund I can get." The coordinator lowered her voice. "Between us, I've been in this business 15 years. What you described is unfortunately not uncommon, but the way you've handled it, with documentation, with clarity, without drama, is rare. Your refund is being processed at the maximum amount. Consider it professional courtesy." That was an extra $2,000 back that I wasn't expecting. Sometimes being calm and professional actually pays off. But the mother wasn't done. 2 weeks after the blow-up, I got served with papers. Not a lawsuit, just a formal demand letter from a lawyer claiming I owed the family compensation for 1. Emotional distress caused by the cancellation. 2. Plane tickets family members had purchased. 3. The wedding dress, apparently $4,200. 4. Reputational damage from the photos I sent. Total demanded $22,000. I called my lawyer buddy again. He laughed for about 30 seconds straight. "This is nonsense. There's no legal basis for any of it. She cheated, you canceled the wedding, end of story. They're just trying to intimidate you into paying." So what do I do? Respond with a counter demand. For the $18,000 you spent on wedding deposits for a wedding she sabotaged through her own infidelity. Make it clear you have documentation of the affair and you're prepared to share it in any legal proceeding. We sent the letter. Never heard from their lawyer again. 2 months later now. The dust has settled. Here's where everyone ended up. My ex-fiancée moved back in with her parents. According to mutual friends, she's been telling people I was controlling and paranoid, and that's why things didn't work out. She never mentions the affair. She never mentions the ex. She's rewritten the whole story in her head where she's the victim. Some people believe her, most don't. The photos I sent made it pretty hard to spin the narrative. The maid of honor lost her boyfriend, lost most of their mutual friends, and apparently started therapy. Not because she felt bad about what she did, but because she couldn't understand why everyone was treating her like she'd done something wrong. Some people are just missing the guilt gene, I guess. The ex-boyfriend, last I heard, he started dating someone new. Good for him. He got played just as bad as I did. As for me, I'm okay. Not great, but okay. The apartment feels empty, not just physically, but like the future I thought I was building here turned out to be fiction. I spent 3 years planning a life with someone who was planning an exit the whole time. That kind of betrayal doesn't just hurt, it makes you question your own judgment, your own reality. I lost about $5,000 total when everything shook out, deposits I couldn't recover, the family plan phone I had to buy out, random stuff. Not as bad as it could have been. The engagement ring? Returned for full credit. Put it toward paying my parents back for the money they'd offered to help with. They said I didn't need to pay them back, but I wanted to. Clean slate. My buddies have been solid through all this. They take me out on weekends. Make sure I'm not sitting alone in my apartment, replaying everything in my head. One of them keeps joking that I should make my spreadsheet into a template for anyone else who needs to catch a cheating partner. Dark humor, but it helps. Do I regret how I handled it? The photos I sent to the wedding guests? Honestly, no. She spent 6 months lying to my face while I planned a life with her. She let me spend my savings on a wedding she knew wasn't going to happen. She laughed with her maid of honor about how easy it was to fool me. And when I caught her, her first instinct wasn't to apologize, it was to scream at me for ruining her life. She was never going to tell the truth. She would have married me, kept seeing her ex on the side, and made me look like the crazy one if I ever suspected anything. The only reason she got caught was because she forgot to turn off her location services. So yeah, I told the truth to everyone, with receipts. If that makes me vindictive, then I'm vindictive. But at least I'm not a liar. Last week, I matched with someone on a dating app. We've been texting. Nothing serious yet. I'm not ready for serious. But she asked about my last relationship, and I just said, it ended badly, didn't give details, didn't trauma dump. She said, breakups are hard, take whatever time you need, and I'm trying, one day at a time. For anyone going through something similar, trust your instincts, check the metadata, and don't let anyone make you feel crazy for wanting the truth. Cool? Cool. My fiancé said, get a real job. YouTube isn't a career, it's embarrassing. I replied, you're right. Then I showed her my channel analytics, $900,000 annual revenue, when she realized she can't afford her lifestyle with her real job that paid $45,000. I just ended my engagement in the most satisfying way possible. Been with my fiancé 28 for 3 years. Engaged 8 months. Living together in my apartment downtown. She works in marketing, pulls in about 45 grand a year. I'm a YouTuber. Tech reviews, tutorials, some gaming content. She's never respected what I do. Calls it my little videos when talking to friends. When her parents ask about my work, she gets vague real quick. Changes subject to her job, her career trajectory, anything else. I let it slide. Figured she'd come around. Loved her, you know? Last night I'm telling her about this 6 sponsorship deal I just closed. Major tech company, 6-figure contract. I'm excited. She's on her phone barely listening. Then she puts it down and just drops it. You need to get a real job. I stopped talking. What? This YouTube thing. It's embarrassing. We're getting married next year and I can't keep telling people my husband makes internet videos. It's not a career, it's what kids do. I've been doing this for 5 years. Exactly. 5 years of this hobby. When are you going to grow up? Get something with benefits, a 401k, something I can actually tell my family about without being ashamed, the way she said, ashamed. Like I was some kind of disappointment. You're ashamed of what I do? I'm being realistic. My friends ask what you do and I have to lie. I say digital media because YouTuber sounds pathetic. We're almost 30. Something in me just clicked. Got real cold and real clear. You're right. She blinked. I am? Yeah. This isn't working. I pulled out my phone, opened YouTube Studio, went straight to the revenue analytics, turned the screen toward her. See that number? She squinted, confused. That's this month. So far, we're only 3 weeks in. Her face changed. This says 68,000. Little low actually. I usually hit 75 by now. Bad month. I watched her brain work, watched the math happen. But that's times 12? Yeah, about 900,000 last year, before taxes. I clear around 600 after everything. Complete silence. But you never told you? You never asked. You just assumed because I work from home in joggers I must be broke. I stood up, started walking to the bedroom. That apartment you love? I pay full rent. Car you drive? Bought it outright. That credit card you use for groceries that somehow covers $300 brunches? All me. Wait, nope. I'm done. I don't want to marry someone who's embarrassed by me. Someone who thinks I need to grow up and get a real job when I'm making 10 times what she makes. Her mouth opened, closed, opened again. If you just told me, then what? You'd respect me? That's worse. That means you only respect money, not the work, not me. I started packing her stuff. She followed me around the apartment freaking out. Let's talk about this. I was trying to help. Help? You called my career embarrassing. You said you lie to your friends about what I do. That's not help. That's disrespect. I didn't mean it like that. How'd you mean it then? She had nothing. Took me about an hour to pack her essentials. She cycled through panic, anger, tears, back to anger. Where am I supposed to go? Hotel. Parents. Your friend with the cats. Not my problem. You can't kick me out. My apartment. My lease. My name. Yeah, I can. She left around midnight with 3 suitcases and a destroyed ego. Kept texting. I blocked her. Best sleep I've had in months. Update 1. Been about 10 days and this has gotten absolutely wild. Her friend started texting me immediately. 8 different numbers with the same basic message. She didn't mean it. Everyone says things in fights. You're overreacting. Blocked all of them. Then her mom left me a voicemail that I almost saved just for the audacity. I raised my daughter to value security. She was trying to encourage you towards stability. Your response is completely inappropriate. You owe her a conversation at minimum. Deleted it. But here's where it gets good. Few days after I kicked her out, building security calls me. Your ex is downstairs, says she forgot some things. She took everything important. She's not coming up. I hear her voice through the phone. I pay rent there. I have rights. I went down. She's there with her sister, both looking like they're ready for war. You don't pay rent, I said calmly. I pay rent. You lived here for free. I contributed to household expenses. You mean the credit card I gave you? The one I pay off every month? That's not rent. That's an allowance. Her sister stepped forward. You can't just throw people out. She lived here 2 years. As my girlfriend, not a tenant, not on any lease. Now she's not my girlfriend, so she doesn't live here. My ex tried switching tactics. I left my grandmother's necklace. No, you didn't. My work laptop. Watched you pack it. Important documents. Like what? She fumbled. My birth certificate. You can get a copy from the county. Anything else? Security guard was done with this. Ma'am, if there's no specific items, you need to leave. She started crying. Her sister glared at me. You're going to regret this. Doubt it. They left. I ordered Chinese food and played video games till 2 a.m. Then it got weirder. Got an Instagram DM from some guy I didn't know. Professional headshot, lawyer vibes. I understand there's been a separation. In situations where one party has been financially dependent, there may be grounds for transitional support. Open to discussion? I screenshot it and sent it to my buddy who's an attorney. He called me dying laughing. They're fishing for palimony. We're not married. Exactly. And she paid 0 rent with no cohabitation agreement. She has literally no claim. Want me to respond? Please. His response was beautiful. Basically, my client owes your client nothing. Any further contact is harassment. Radio silence from that guy. But then came the really creative stuff. Her best friend requested to follow me on every platform. Declined. Then she started using a mutual friend's account to watch my stories. So I posted something. Screenshot of my latest sponsor payment. $81,000 for one integrated video. Caption. Embarrassing hobby, paying embarrassing amounts. Within an hour, text from a new number. We need to talk. What we had was real. What we had was you living off me while calling my career embarrassing. That's called being a parasite. I was worried about our future. You make $45,000 and spend like you make 6 figures. You weren't worried about our future. You were worried about funding your lifestyle when you realized you'd have to pay your own bills. She called. I didn't answer. She called from another number. Blocked it. Here's my favorite part though. Her mom called. My mom. My mom called me cackling. So your ex's mother just lectured me for 30 minutes about how her daughter made one tiny mistake and you're throwing away true love and I need to talk sense into you. Oh God, what'd you say? I told her my son makes more than her entire family combined, and maybe she should teach her daughter not to insult the people paying her bills. Mom, what? It's true. I'm proud of you. That girl always cared way too much about what other people think. Then yesterday, my ex tried ambushing me. I'm at my usual coffee shop, working. She walks in, sits at the next table, starts having this loud phone conversation. Yeah, I'm really learning what matters. Material things don't define relationships. I was so shallow before. I packed my stuff. As I walked past her table, I stopped. If material things don't matter, why'd you tell me to get a real job for the money and benefits? Pick a narrative. Left her sitting there. Barista was grinning. Got home to find a card under my door. Long letter about how she sees clearly now and understands what she lost. Threw it away without finishing it. This morning, her dad called. I answered because honestly, I was bored. Son, I think we need to talk. I'm not your son. My daughter made a mistake. A comment she regrets. You're letting pride ruin something good. Your daughter spent 3 years disrespecting my work while I paid her way. That wasn't one comment. That was her finally being honest. And regarding pride, I have plenty to be proud of. I built a successful business from nothing. What I don't have is time for someone who wants to tear me down to feel better about herself. She was trying to motivate you. No, she was trying to change me into what she could brag about. That's not motivation. That's control. You're making a mistake. Maybe, but it's mine to make. Hung up. Not gonna lie, there's been moments I wondered if I overreacted, if one comment really justified ending everything. Then I remember her face when she said, "Embarrassing. The disgust in it. The shame? Nah. I'm good." Update 2. 2 weeks post-breakup. The entitlement has reached new heights I didn't think possible. My ex made a burner Instagram to message me. "I know you're upset, but we need to discuss the financial situation. I invested 2 years of my life in our relationship, and I think I'm entitled to some compensation for that contribution." Sent it to my lawyer friend immediately. Me, she seriously thinks she should get paid for dating me? The audacity is honestly impressive. Want me to handle it? Me, make it scary. He sent something from his firm's official email, mentioned words like extortion and legal action. That shut her up for about 3 days. Then her sister posted on Facebook. Didn't name me, but come on. Watching my sister suffer because someone couldn't handle constructive criticism. When you build someone up, support their dreams, and they throw it away over ego, that's not strength, that's insecurity. The comments were messy. Half the people knew it was about me. One of my boys from college commented, "If by built him up, you mean lived rent-free while insulting his income, then yeah, totally." She deleted the post an hour later. But here's where it gets really interesting. My ex started telling people she was essentially my business partner, that she helped build my channel and deserved recognition for her contributions. Got a text from a mutual friend. "Yo, your ex is saying she was like your producer and manager? Is that true?" Not even close. She was in maybe 3 videos total, complained the whole time about filming taking too long, and told me it was a waste of time. She can't even name my most popular video. Yeah, that's what I figured. She's building this whole story about being entitled to part of your business. Called my lawyer friend again. She's claiming she helped build the channel. Can you prove otherwise? 3 years of emails, Slack messages, texts showing I did everything. I have an actual editor on payroll, actual business manager. Both can confirm she had 0 involvement. Document everything. If she makes this legal, we'll destroy it. Week later, her dad sent me a Facebook message. "We need to speak man to man about this situation. My daughter gave you 2 years of her life, supported you emotionally while you built your business. Now that you're successful, you want to abandon her? That's not how men behave." I didn't respond directly, but I did make a video. Nothing specific about her, just about relationships, about how success reveals character, how some people celebrate your wins and others resent them. Talked about the importance of being with someone who respects your path, even when they don't understand it. About how love without respect is just convenience. Never said her name. Posted it knowing she'd watch. She did. And apparently lost it. 3 friends texted me saying she was furious, claiming I was using my platform to attack her and publicly humiliating her. One mutual friend called. "Dude, she's talking about suing you." For what? I never named her. I shared general relationship advice. She says everyone knows it's about her. That's her problem, not mine. My lawyer already reviewed it. I'm clear. Her mom tried calling my mom again. My mom blocked her number. Then came the nuclear option. My ex showed up at my building again with her grandmother's engagement ring, the one I gave her. Security called. She says she needs to return a ring. Tell her to mail it. She's saying it's too valuable to mail. Needs to hand deliver it. I went down mostly out of curiosity. She was dressed up, makeup done, holding the ring box like it was a live grenade. I wanted to return this properly, face to face. Mail it. Please, 5 minutes. Just let me talk. No. I made a mistake, the biggest mistake of my life. But you're not even giving me a chance to make it right. Make it right? You didn't make a mistake. You told me the truth. You think my work is embarrassing. You're ashamed of what I do. The only mistake you made was saying it out loud before locking down the ring. That's not true. Really? Where were you 6 months ago when I tried talking about maybe investing some income? You rolled your eyes and said, "What income?" Like I was broke, like I was pathetic. Silence. Keep the ring. Sell it. I don't care. We're done. I walked away. She shouted something about how she'd sacrificed so much and given up everything. That night I changed my number completely. Fresh start, blocked her everywhere. Email filters, social media locked down. The works. My parents said her parents tried reaching out one more time. My dad threatened them with harassment charges. That ended it. My mom did tell me something interesting before the contact stopped though. My ex moved back in with her parents. Turns out $45,000 a year doesn't cover the lifestyle she got used to on my dime. Car payment alone is killing her. She's been complaining to everyone about how unfair her situation is. Her dad mentioned to my dad that she might need a second job. My dad's response? Maybe she should have thought about that before calling the guy paying her bills embarrassing. Haven't heard anything in over a week. Think it's finally done. Final update, 6 weeks since the breakup. Time to close this out. Been quiet since my last update. No drama, no contact, nothing. Figured she finally moved on. Last week I'm at dinner with some friends, nice place downtown, and she walks in with some guy. We made eye contact across the room. She looked shocked, then embarrassed, then tried to look unbothered. I went back to my conversation. Didn't care, but she came over to my table anyway. The guy trailed behind looking confused as hell. Hey, can we talk? I'm eating. Not really the time. Just 1 minute, please. My friends looked at me. I shrugged. Fine, 1 minute. We stepped away. Her date stood there awkwardly. I wanted to apologize. For real. No games. I was wrong about everything. Okay, that's it? What do you want? A medal? You apologized. I heard you. We're still done. I know. I just needed to say it to your face. I get why you ended things. I was entitled and disrespectful and I didn't see it until it was too late. Good for you. That's growth. I'm not asking to get back together. That ship sailed. I just wanted you to know I understand now. Appreciated. Have a nice night. I started walking back to my table. For what it's worth, she said, I tell people you're killing it now, that my ex is a successful content creator. I'm actually proud of what you built, even though I wasn't when we were together. Thanks, but maybe try respecting people while you're dating them. Not after. She nodded. Went back to her date. I went back to my friends. What was that about? One of them asked. Closure, I guess. Later that night, one of her friends I actually liked texted me. Hey, I know this is random, but she really is sorry. She's been in therapy working on herself. The stuff she said was messed up and she knows it now. Good for her. I've moved on though. There. Just wanted you to know she's different now. Maybe, but I don't need to stick around to see it. Channel's doing great. Hit 1 million subscribers last week. Landed my biggest deal yet, $250,000 for a 3-video series. Moved to a better place, high-rise downtown with a sick view. Better filming setup. Actual home office that doesn't double as a bedroom. Been on some dates, nothing serious yet. Not rushing into anything, taking time to figure out what I actually want. Friend group got smaller but way better. People who respect what I do and don't question it. My parents are stoked. Dad keeps sending me articles about successful YouTubers with "See real job" as the subject line. I don't think about my ex much anymore. When I do, it's not with anger, just indifference. She's a lesson learned. The lesson? Respect is everything. If someone doesn't respect your work, your passion, your path, they don't respect you. Period. My ex respected my money once she found out about it, but she never respected me. That's what mattered. I'm not bitter. She showed me who she was. Just wish I'd paid attention sooner. But 3 years is better than 30, right? Someone asked if I'd take her back if she really changed. Honest answer? No. Because even if she's different, I'm different too. I learned what I won't accept, what I won't compromise on. I won't be with someone who needs to see my bank account before respecting my career. Who needs proof of success before taking me seriously. The right person respects the hustle before the payoff. The work before the results, the dream before it becomes reality. My ex wanted the lifestyle without appreciating the work behind it. Wanted the results without respecting the process. That's not a partner, that's a leech. Life's good now, channel's thriving, apartment's incredible. Freedom tastes way better than any relationship built on disrespect. The comments on my videos are wild now. People who know the story leave stuff like "real job energy" and "respect the hustle." Makes me smile every time. My ex is dating restaurant guy apparently. Hope it works out. Everyone deserves happiness. Me? I'm exactly where I need to be. Single, successful, respected. Building whatever comes next without someone tearing it down. The embarrassing hobby? Just got nominated for a Streamy Award. The kid stuff? Bought me a car in cash. The not a real job gave me a life most people dream about, and I built it myself. With work, with dedication, with belief. My ex wanted me to get a real job. I've got something better. I've got freedom.